Welcome to the Daily History Podcast, where we unravel the strings of time to weave the rich tapestry of our past. Today's episode voyages back to a pivotal moment in the 20th century, the 1979 Iranian Revolution. Join us as we unpack the end of a monarchy and the dawn of the Islamic Republic. Iran before 1979 was a nation at the crossroads of tradition and modernization, a complex tapestry where monarchy reigned and the winds of change stirred the air. The country was ruled by Mohammad Reza Shah Pahlavi, who ascended the Peacock Throne in 1941. His regime was one characterized by a strong push towards westernization and rapid industrial growth, with ambitions of projecting Iran as a regional powerhouse. This era saw the implementation of the Shah's White Revolution, a series of socio-economic reforms launched in 1963 aimed at modernizing the economy, granting women's suffrage, and reducing the influence of the traditional class structure. However, despite the seeming progress, these reforms did not go uncontested. The Shah's autocratic approach often stifled political freedom and suppressed opposition, laying the foundations for societal unrest. The socio-economic challenges in this period were manifold. While the Shah's policies propelled a minority towards greater wealth, they also widened the gap between the rich and the poor. The rural population, displaced by land reforms, and the urban working class struggled under the rising costs of living and limited political expression. This discontent was the bedrock upon which the revolution would build, as Iranians across social strata began voicing their frustrations, setting the stage for a historic upheaval. As the 1960s and 1970s unfolded, Iran was perched on the edge of change. Mohammad Reza Shah Pahlavi, backed by a potent security apparatus, had initiated a series of reforms known as the White Revolution. Despite intentions of modernization, these policies bore the seeds of discord. The Shah's autocratic style curtailed political freedoms, suppressed opposition, and alienated a significant portion of society, including the influential clergy and the growing middle class. Meanwhile, Western influence surged, permeating Iranian culture, economy, and politics. This westernization, often seen as a threat to traditional Islamic values, exacerbated the discontent among the populace. Religious leaders, feeling sidelined, criticized the secular policies and the Western presence in their country. Notably, figures like Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini became focal points for the religious dissent, voicing the concerns of many who felt forgotten or oppressed by the Shah's regime. The confluence of heavy-handed governance, a burgeoning enthusiasm for reasserting Islamic identity, and the discontent due to socio-economic stratification set the stage for revolt. Urban intellectuals, students, workers, and the religious community, each with their grievances, found common cause. Their collective unrest laid the foundation for the widespread upheaval that would soon engulf the nation, ultimately leading to the cascading events of the 1979 revolution. The year 1979 stands as a defining moment in the history of Iran, a time when the collective voices of discontent erupted into a symphony of demand for change. Streets once bustling with daily life became the stage for dramatic expressions of a people long suppressed. Strikes paralyzed the nation's economy. From oil workers to bazaar merchants, a cross-section of society downed tools in a powerful display of unity. Even as the Shah clung to power, his grip weakened by each passing day. Turnouts swelled into the millions. Tehran, and indeed other cities, witnessed the strength of a populace reaching the edge of endurance, and further into the realm of revolt. The Shah, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, confronting the inevitable, opted for what some saw as a strategic retreat. On the 16th of January 1979, his royal aircraft ascended, signifying what many believed was the tally of his waning era. It was a moment loaded with uncertainty, as teary-eyed loyalists watched and protesters cheered with both jubilation and a sense of foreboding. As if answering the call of history, Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini, a religious leader in exile for his fiery opposition to the Shah's rule, returned on the 1st of February. He was met with an ocean of supporters at Mehrabad Airport, signifying a new chapter for Iran's future. His return marked a revolutionary crescendo that would echo through the annals of time. Eyewitness accounts from those tumultuous days paint pictures of a divided society on the brink. There were tales of friends and families torn apart by political ideology, accounts of nighttime whispers becoming daytime shouts in the streets. Sounds of bullets and the sight of graffiti emblazoned walls became imprinted in the collective memory. The atmosphere was electric. With uncertainty hanging in the air, emotions ran high. Fear, hope, defiance, and a demand for something different. These feelings interwove to form the complex tapestry of the revolution. The country teetered on the edge of change, irrevocable and profound, as the world watched, holding its breath. As the fabric of Iran's long-standing monarchy began to unravel, the Shah's grip on power weakened dramatically. By late 1978, protests and demonstrations had grown in both size and intensity, despite efforts to enforce martial law and suppress dissidents. The cries for change could no longer be ignored. They were the reverberations of a society on the brink of transformation. January 16, 1979, became a day etched in the annals of Iranian history as Mohammad Reza Shah Pahlavi, clad in uncertainty, boarded a plane and left his homeland. With his departure, the wheels of revolution turned with an unstoppable momentum. In his absence, a power vacuum formed, setting the stage for a drastic reshaping of Iran's political landscape. The revolutionaries, a coalition of diverse social groups unified under the banner of discontent, had achieved the inconceivable, the disintegration of a monarchy that had once seemed an unassailable institution. Their victory, however, was not without immediate challenges. The question at the forefront was not only who would lead, but what form of governance would take root in this new era. It was on April 1, 1979, following a national referendum that yielded overwhelming support, that the Islamic Republic of Iran was proclaimed. This new republic represented a paradigm shift in Iranian politics, with the Ayatollah Khomeini emerging as the supreme religious leader. His vision for an Islamic state, governed by the principles of Sharia law, starkly contrasted the westernized secular approach of the Shah. The establishment of the Islamic Republic had immediate repercussions that extended far beyond Iran's borders. Domestically, the structure and fabric of society were reorganized to align with Islamic principles, affecting law, education, and personal freedoms. Women, in particular, faced new compulsory dress codes and restrictions on their rights. Politically, parties aligned with Western ideologies found themselves disbanded or operating underground. Internationally, the revolution energized Islamic movements across the Middle East, sparking concerns among Iran's neighbors and global superpowers alike. With the Cold War as a backdrop, the United States, which had lost a key ally in the Shah, eyed the developments with caution. The geopolitical balance in the resource-rich region was now subject to the uncertainties of a newly established Islamic state, whose ideological ambitions were yet to be fully understood. As the immediate aftershocks of the revolution settled, its ripple effects continued to mold the international arena. The unforeseen consequences of such profound change in Iran were to reverberate for decades to come, embedding themselves as a perennial consideration in global diplomatic and strategic calculations. Our exploration now leads us to the ripples that the Iranian Revolution caused beyond its borders, manifesting in various geopolitical shifts and most infamously in the Iran hostage crisis. On November 4, 1979, a group of Iranian students supporting the revolutionary cause seized the U.S. Embassy in Tehran, taking 52 American diplomats and citizens hostage. The crisis lasted for a harrowing 444 days, drawing global attention and severely straining relations between Iran and the United States. This period was marked by relentless media coverage and diplomatic efforts to secure the hostages' release, underscoring the revolution's newfound ability to impact international affairs. The geopolitical landscape of the Middle East underwent significant change as the established order was disrupted. Iran, traditionally an ally of the West, transformed into a vehement critic, especially of the United States, affecting regional alliances. the Islamic Republic's anti-imperialistic stance resonated with other nations, altering diplomatic ties and prompting shifts in the balance of power. This transition fueled regional tensions, sparking concerns amongst neighboring countries and leading to the early stages of what would become the Iran-Iraq War in September 1980, further complicating the intricate web of Middle Eastern politics. In the wider Islamic world, the revolution proved inspirational for various movements that longed for a greater emphasis on Islam in political life. The idea of an Islamic governance spread, stirring debates on the role of religion in state affairs and challenging secularism in the region and beyond. This shift has had long-lasting implications, influencing ideologies and fostering an era that saw the emergence of political Islam as a formidable force on the world stage. However, it also led to divisions within the Islamic movements, between those advocating for governance aligned with their own interpretations of Islam and others resisting radical shifts away from secularism. The 1979 Iranian Revolution undeniably reshaped the nation, altering its course dramatically. Over 40 years later, its impact reverberates through Iran's political, social, and cultural landscapes. The fall of the Pahlavi dynasty and the establishment of the Islamic Republic transformed Iran from a monarchy under Western influence to a theocratic state. This seismic shift had profound ramifications, essentially redefining Iran's identity and role on the world stage. Key to the revolution's legacy is its influence on modern Iran, particularly in terms of governance and societal norms. Theocratic rule replaced secular governance, intertwining religion and politics in a way that was unprecedented for Iran. This transition significantly affected women's rights, minority groups, and led to censorship and a conservative cultural climate. The repercussions of these changes are still being navigated today. On the geopolitical front, the 1979 revolution dramatically altered the balance of power in the Middle East. Iran went from being a staunch ally of the West to challenging Western influence in the region. The establishment of the Islamic Republic also inspired Islamic political movements across the world, affecting the geopolitical landscape and causing tension between Iran and its neighbors, as well as with Western countries. Reflecting upon the revolution's legacy, one cannot overlook its enduring influence on global policies and diplomacy. The revolution's aftermath, including events like the Iran hostage crisis, strained Iran's relationship with the United States, a tension that echoes into present-day confrontations. These historical echoes serve as a reminder of the profound and lasting effects the revolution has had, not just within Iran, but around the world. As we consider Iran's current position and the changes it has undergone, the legacy of the 1979 revolution provides a critical lens through which to interpret ongoing political and social developments. The significance of the revolution's impact remains a topic of study and discussion, offering insights into the forces that shape our modern geopolitical climate. Thank you for tuning in to Daily History Podcast. We hope this journey through the labyrinth of Iran's revolution has enlightened and engaged you. Don't forget to subscribe for more dives into history's defining moments. Share your thoughts and suggest future episode topics in the comments below. If there's a topic that ignites your curiosity, give it a like. The one with the most likes will take center stage in our upcoming sessions. Until next time, keep exploring the pages of history with us.